se a ideia é essa de ficar falando, de ficar cogitando pra ver se vai me abalar, cara, tipo, eu vejo os negócios, tipo, se é que vocês estão longe, vocês não estão vendo, mas se você perguntar pros meninos que andam comigo, você vê, tipo, eu dou risada, tá ligado? Porque é coisas tão relativas, enquanto eles estão falando, eu tô treinando, eu tô me dedicando. Você me conhece, eu não sou aquele que tem que ficar postando, aquele que tem que ficar falando, aquele que tem que fazer. Eu sei o que eu tenho que fazer.
ILIA Topuria and Charles Oliveira have just gone back and forth exchanging brutal words ahead of their upcoming clash. Charles Oliveira enters his fight with ILIA Topuria full of confidence, aiming for a decisive finish. He respects Topuria's abilities, but feels no need to prove himself, citing his career accomplishments as proof of his talent. His focus is on delivering a dominant performance.
What are your thoughts on ILIA Topuria and ILIA Topuria as a fighter? How do you feel about just the overall fight?
É uma grande luta. Ele é um grande lutador, mas eu não preciso provar mais nada pra ninguém de quem eu sou, o que eu já fiz aí fazendo do MSP Cage. Essa outra chegou numa oportunidade gigantesca. Eu vou nocautear esse cara. Essa é ela.
He's gonna knock this guy out.
ILIA Topuria, however, questioned Oliveira's durability and mindset. He argued that a fighter with multiple losses lacks the unshakable confidence of the undefeated. Topuria claimed Oliveira tends to fade under pressure, unlike those who've never been beaten.
Charles Oliveira, even this is what I was telling you before, like when you got 10 losses in your record, that's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 10.
Yeah.
Like when you walk in with a guy that has 10 losses, the level of confidence is completely different. It's completely different than when you walk in with a guy that it's undefeated.
Right.
He's a dangerous guy in the striking, in the ground game, everywhere you look at him, he's a dangerous guy. He never takes a lose. That's a different mentality. You gotta have to kill him to give up. He's not gonna even give up. You gotta have to kill him. In the case of Charles, if he finds some adversity, he's gonna go to the ground. He's gonna sit and he's gonna be waiting like till you end up the fight.
However, ILIA Topuria sent a clear message to Charles Oliveira. He plans to dominate from the first bell. Confident in his strategy, Topuria dismissed Oliveira's experience as irrelevant and vowed to finish the fight quickly to cement his place among the elite. In response, Charles Oliveira reflected on his evolution in the UFC. From a young underdog to a seasoned contender, he overcame doubt and earned respect through knockouts and elite performances. Now, he sees himself as a battle-tested veteran, ready for any challenge.
É muito foda que eu não gosto de ficar falando muito que tudo que a gente fala, você tá ligado, né? Mas tudo burburinho, né? Mas eu acho que já passou a fase disso, né? São 15 anos dentro do UFC. Né, eu entrei um menino lá dentro, eu era só um moleque lá dentro, igual eu tudo que eu falei pesa, né? Eu sou só um menino no meio dos leões. Hoje eu me sinto um leão no meio dos leões, um leão diferenciado, um leão embaçado. O último, o Charles desiste, eu fui lá e atropelei. O último, o Charles não tem mão, eu fui lá e nocauteei. O Charles não tem não sei o que lá, eu fui lá e fiz. Então eu acho que assim, é tão bagulho, são tantas coisas loucas que, tipo, se a ideia é essa de ficar falando, de ficar cogitando pra ver se vai me abalar, cara, tipo...
Despite outside noise and speculation, Oliveira stays focused. Uninterested in hype, he relies on hard work and results to speak for him. With the fight near, his attention remains on training hard and staying mentally grounded.
Eu vejo os negócios, tipo, se é que vocês estão longe, vocês não estão vendo, mas se você perguntar pros meninos que andam comigo, você vê, tipo, eu dou risada, tá ligado? Porque é coisas tão relativas, enquanto eles estão falando, eu tô treinando, eu tô me dedicando. Você me conhece, eu não sou aquele que tem que ficar postando, aquele que tem que ficar falando, aquele que tem que fazer... Eu sei o que eu tenho que fazer, o trampo é dia 28, então eu tenho que simplesmente se focar e tá pronto, tem 2 semanas pra isso acontecer, então eu só tenho que estar feliz, perto das pessoas que eu amo e treinando e me dedicando. Mas se você falasse, você ganhava muito mais dinheiro. Fazer o quê? Eu não sei fazer isso, eu não sei falar desse jeito, eu não sei vender a luta dessa forma, não é o meu jeito de vender, então deixa eu ganhar o dinheiro que eu tô ganhando, que é o único jeito que eu sei fazer dessa forma, tranquilo na minha. Na hora que fecha o queijo lá dentro, eu sei o que tem que fazer, que é andar pra frente, botar minhas mãos, e aí, no final de tudo, o que mais importa é o sobraço sendo levantado.
However, Oliveira recognizes Topuria's dangerous skill set, sharp boxing and underrated grappling.
Quem sabe que ele tem um boxe agressivo, que manda 2, 3 mãos, né, andando pra frente, ele é um cara perigoso, nocauteou o Max Holloway, né, na última luta dele, então é um cara que é perigoso, né? Tem um jiu-jitsu que todo mundo fala que é bom, ainda ele ainda não usou no UFC, mas falam que é bom o jiu-jitsu dele. Então, assim, cara, de verdade, eu tô preocupado com o que eu posso levar pra dentro do cage, o quanto que tô feliz, né? Com mais essa oportunidade, né? Mais algo gigante pro meu legado. Então é isso.
Dustin Poirier predicted a win for ILIA Topuria over Charles Oliveira, despite Topuria potentially being undersized. He noted Oliveira's submission threat if he hurts Topuria, but emphasized that Oliveira gets hit frequently, a risk against a powerful finisher like ILIA. Poirier praised the matchup and expressed excitement to watch it unfold.
With the ILIA versus Charles fight?
I think ILIA, man. I think he's going to be way undersized against Charles. I just don't, unless Charles can sub him, maybe if he hurts him, but it's going to be tough, I think. Because Charles gets hit a lot, you know, and ILIA puts people away. I'm excited about it.
Alexander Volkanovski praised ILIA Topuria's striking and mental toughness, noting his knockout power, sharp accuracy, and ability to stay composed under pressure. Even when missing shots or facing adversity, Topuria remains focused, making him a constant threat with fight-ending potential.
ILIA has a chance to knock anyone out. You know, he's got solid hands and very, very dangerous. And he's very, he's got a very good focus. So even when things aren't going his way, he's still, you know, he's got like this tunnel vision of, I'm going to find this shot. And that's dangerous when you've got a guy like you. You're like jabbing him up, jabbing, he's missing shots. Some people usually start to like, oh, I better watch out, I better not throw shots until I know they're there, you know, start second guessing themselves. I don't know if I've seen that in ILIA. So when you've got someone that's that stoic through that process, you know, he could definitely find that shot. And if he does, he could put anyone even in the lightweight division out.
Volkanovski also pointed out that Charles Oliveira could present a serious challenge. He explained that Oliveira's relentless pressure might disrupt Topuria's rhythm, as ILIA seems less effective when forced backward, while Topuria remains dangerous.
He's going to find tough guys. I don't think Charles Oliveira is going to be on the back foot at all. I think he's going to, you know, that's something that'll be different for ILIA. I don't think he's ever had someone be like, nah, jam forward as well, if that makes sense. So we'll see how ILIA goes if he's on the back foot. I think I've seen him a couple of times where he had to go on the back foot a little bit. He just doesn't have the same shots, you know, have his same strikes, or, you know, his game plan to find the shots just changes a little bit, and I think it throws him off a little bit. So I think earlier on, seeing that adjustment will be interesting, because I think Charles is going to come with, even though he's high, there would be opportunities for ILIA to land, but I feel like he maybe if ILIA's on the back foot, let's see how he goes there. That's going to be interesting.
Michael Chandler expressed excitement for Oliveira versus Topuria, saying he'll be cage side. He called Oliveira tough and versatile, but also praised Topuria's power and striking. Chandler sees the matchup as hard to predict, which makes it even more compelling.
So I'll be cage side for that fight to watch it, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, who do you think is going to win?
Man, it's tough. You don't bet against freaking Charles Oliveira because he's so dang good everywhere, and he's a really hard guy to beat. With that being said, ILIA Topuria's got some crazy power in his hands and crazy accurate strikes. So it'll be very interesting to see how that fight goes.
Michael Bisping warned that one mistake against Charles Oliveira could end the fight due to his elite submissions. Still, he favored ILIA Topuria for his striking, wrestling, and smart move to 155, advocating for less extreme weight cuts.
And if you make one mistake with Charles Oliveira, boom, it's over. Quick as a flash, he's throwing down a submission. Goga platters, omoplatters, triangles, reverse triangles, you name it. Heel hooks, knee bars, whatever, okay? You make one mistake with Charles Oliveira and it is all over. Now, with all that said, I am leaning towards ILIA Topuria. I think the power in the hands is significant. Of course, he has the wrestling to probably be able to stop the takedowns, but more importantly, he's coming up to 155. I say this all the time. Everybody should move up a weight class.
Sean O'Malley called the fight a toss-up, emotionally siding with Oliveira, but logically leaning toward Topuria. He cited Oliveira's tendency to take damage as a concern against Topuria's knockout power, and labeled the matchup one of the most exciting upcoming fights.
Could I get your read on how Topuria versus Oliveira plays out?
Man, that's one where your heart's telling you, you know, Charles, and your brain's telling you ILIA. It's just that one's a coin flip. Can't count Charles out. ILIA's on an absolute tear. You know, Charles does get hit and ILIA cracks. That fight I am very excited for.
Renato Moicano questioned ILIA Topuria's move to lightweight, suggesting he may be undersized for the division. While he acknowledged Topuria's knockout power in boxing, Moicano warned that strong grapplers at 155 could control him on the ground and expose size disadvantages.
You're fighting on the Charles Oliveira versus ILIA Topuria card. Charles is a big underdog. How do you see that fight going?
Yeah, that's a tougher matchup that a lot of people think. They think Topuria gonna run through Charles. You never count Charles Oliveira out. I think he's very tough. But Topuria is good, you know. He's 145. It's going to be a tough fight for both fighters. I don't have an opinion on that. I was leaning more to Topuria, but today I just had a podcast with Charles on my Brazilian channel. It's just very hard to not like the guy. That makes harder, you know, to pick against him. So I'm going with Charles just because he's Brazilian.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.